Picture this, a machine that could organize your cupboard just as you like it, or serve every member of the house a customized cup of coffee. Makes your day easier, doesn't it? These are the products of artificial intelligence. But why use the term artificial intelligence? Well, these machines are artificially incorporated with human-like intelligence to perform tasks as we do. This intelligence is built using complex algorithms and mathematical functions. But AI may not be as obvious as in the previous examples. In fact, AI is used in smartphones, cars, social media feeds, video games, banking, surveillance, and many other aspects of our daily life. The real question is, what does an AI do at its core? Here is a robot we built in our lab, which is now dropped onto a field. In spite of a variation in lighting, landscape, and dimensions of the field, the AI robot must perform as expected. This ability to react appropriately to a new situation is called generalized learning. The robot is now at a crossroad, one that is paved and the other rocky. The robot must determine which path to take based on the circumstances. This portrays the robot's reasoning ability. After a short stroll, the robot now encounters a stream that it cannot swim across. Using the plank provided as an input, the robot is able to cross this stream. So, our robot uses the given input and finds the solution for a problem. This is problem solving. These three capabilities make the robot artificially intelligent. In short, AI provides machines with the capability to adapt, reason, and provide solutions. Well, now that we know what AI is, let's have a look at the two broad categories an AI is classified into. Weak AI, also called narrow AI, focuses solely on one task. For example, AlphaGo is a maestro of the game Go, but you can't expect it to be even remotely good at chess. This makes AlphaGo a weak AI. You might say Alexa is definitely not a weak AI, since it can perform multiple tasks. Well, that's not really true. When you ask Alexa to play Despacito, it picks up the keywords play and Despacito and runs a program it is trained to. Alexa cannot respond to a question it isn't trained to answer. For instance, try asking Alexa the status of traffic from work to home. Alexa cannot provide you this information, as she is not trained to. And that brings us to our second category of AI, strong AI. Now, this is much like the robots that only exist in fiction as of now. Ultron from Avengers is an ideal example of a strong AI. That's because it's self-aware and eventually even develops emotions. This makes the AI's response unpredictable. You must be wondering, well, how is artificial intelligence different from machine learning and deep learning? We saw what AI is. Machine learning is a technique to achieve AI, and deep learning, in turn, is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning provides a machine with the capability to learn from data and experience through algorithms. Deep learning does this learning through ways inspired by the human brain. This means, through deep learning, data and patterns can be better perceived. Ray Kurzweil, a well-known futurist, predicts that by the year 2045, we would have robots as smart as humans. This is called the point of singularity. Well, that's not all. In fact, Elon Musk predicts that the human mind and body will be enhanced by AI implants, which would make us partly cyborgs.
Hi, this is Cayden from VIA Value Investing Academy. Now, thanks for joining another evening of our deep dive series where we talk about anything and everything about investing. So before I start, I just want to make sure that my voice is clear to you for those people who are watching at home. And I'm going to present my slide right now. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't do a screen share, right? Maybe somebody, who's the host? They can pass the screen share to me. Yeah. So by the way, it's good to see all of you again. I just want to make sure that everything is fine right now. Yeah. And I also want to make sure that my colleague, right, is able to do the co-host. Let me just check. Okay, all good. Yeah. Okay, Susie's side. Okay, all good. Yeah, a bit of technical glitch here, but it's fine. So right now I'm going to present my slide, and I just want to make sure that you are able to see the slide at home, right? Now, if you're able to see the slide where it's a YouTube screenshot and talks about what is artificial intelligence by this YouTube channel called Simply Learn. Is it okay in your chat? You just type 1 so that I'm reassured that you can hear and you can see. Yep, Jerry, hi. Yep, so while you're typing the 1, right, sometimes the response is a bit slow. Before I start, I just want to give credit and recognize this YouTube channel called Simply Learn. Simply Learn, I'm going to circle this, right? You realize that the number of subscribers that they have is really huge. It's 2.8 million subscribers. Wow, that's a lot. So that's our dream, right? So far for VIA right now, we are at 13K. 13K may take another 50 years, but we are heading there. Okay, huh? But anyway, I like to recognize this channel, Simply Learn. They really produce very good video about artificial intelligence. Just to let you know that before I show this video, right? Actually, we have some slides about artificial intelligence, but it was a bit academic with different points. But I think this video really say all. Okay, huh? So let's get started, right? Now, recently AI seems to be a very in thing that people talks about. But just to let you know that AI has been around for quite a while. Except that some of the products that we commonly see at home usually belongs to the category of weak AI, which was illustrated in the video. Now, if you look at this equipment, right, which is actually a robotic vacuum cleaner, and it's produced by this company called iRobot. I'm just guessing, right, because they only can perform one task, which is a suction of the dirt and so on. So the artificial intelligence, if I relate back to the video, it should be the weak AI. And then, of course, in that video, he also talks about the strong AI. It only takes place only in fictional movies such as Ultron, right? I think in the movie called Avengers. Yeah. So actually, AI has been around us for quite a while, but because it's so subtle and unconscious, right, we didn't know that actually it's AI. Yeah. But I think recently it becomes a hot topic. So this one is the vacuum cleaner, right? And of course, if you are a fan of iPhone, you would be very familiar with Siri. You ask Siri a question, it reproduce the answers for you. So Siri, I suppose, also AI, but the weak AI. And of course, this is something that maybe some of you are very familiar, right? I think the latest development for robotic with AI is actually this lady called Sophia. Yeah, and not only interesting, can you see this Sophia is able to do like interview together with a human? Yeah, so AI, artificial intelligence. And if you're a movie goer, right, the latest movie that talks about AI is this movie called Megan. Yeah, so I'm just guessing this Megan, in this real world, if it really exists, I think it's a strong AI. Yeah, because eventually this Megan is able to recognize emotions and so on. So very interesting. Yeah, but of course, all these things, even though it's around us, yeah, AI, right? So there was this new thing that came about into our life that becomes a talking topic, and it's called ChatGPT. ChatGPT, yeah. Now, just to let you know that when I saw this term for the first time, I'm always confused with the 3 alphabets at the back. It's like ChatGPT or ChatGTP, or yeah. So it's actually ChatGPT. So I try to remember this by relating to in the early days when guys were in army, right? We had to wear this thing for exercise called PT kit, so I can remember ChatGPT, yeah. And then not only that, our MOE minister called Chan Chun Sing recently talked about how ChatGPT may be used in education. And at the end of his speech, he tried to crack a joke, right, saying that, this script is written by my hardworking MOE staff and it's not written by ChatGPT. And this MOE minister, I think Tan Si Ling here, give a smile. Yep. So even minister talks about this. And of course, the topic, the key thing that we want to talk about is this ChatGPT going to be the next big thing? Yeah. So this is the first question. And then subsequently, of course, since we're talking about investing, can we make money out of this some ways or another? So let's get started, right? Just to let you know that today we're going to talk about quite a couple of things. For example, we're going to talk about 3 companies. We're going to talk about, I think, 4 ETF, exchange traded funds. So these are equities investment instruments, right? So before we go into detail, I think I better talk about the disclaimer. So okay, So remember what we're going to share tonight is solely for education and its application of value investing methodology and various valuation methods in the context of real life company. So remember, under no circumstances does any information provided in tonight's evening, right, represent a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any stock. So I'm going to jump straight to the last part, right? So remember, neither My Kinesis Investments Private Limited, VIA, nor the author, which is me and Hillary, of the following case studies are operated by or affiliated with any broker, dealer, or licensed financial advisor. So remember, last one again, neither VIA nor authors make any representation or warranty as to the completeness or accuracy of the information presented in this case study. In other words, whatever we share, just for learning purpose, right? Don't go and press buy and then go to the chat and then so on. So Jia, you say volume soft. Maybe you want to increase the volume over the other side or use a headpiece. Only hear intermittently. Yeah, maybe you want to check the voice. Is it okay right now? Yeah, now I'm speaking. Is it okay right now? Wendy and Jia Yu, is everything okay? Okay, so I'm going to start, right? Yeah, so let's deep dive into ChatGPT and AI companies. So now, of course, the question is, what is ChatGPT? I mean, what's the big deal, right? People talk about. Now, here a bit of academic. It's like I'm giving a lecture, right? So ChatGPT, the chat, of course, is chat. The G is generative, pre-trained transformer. Oh, this one looks like the transformer in the movie. Yep. So remember, it's just a computer language, or AI language model launched by OpenAI. We're going to talk about this later. They answer queries. That means you ask a question, they reply with some form of answers in a conversational way, as though, right, it's a human. You ask, what's the shape of orange? Oh, the person reply round, something like that. As if you're asking a question to another human being. Later I'll do a demo. And then it can generate answers in mere seconds. Now, this one, it all depends. If the Wi-Fi is bad, it may take a couple of seconds. Support multiple languages. Quite interesting. So if you see here, right, what we did was we put in an example. 什么是投资? That means in Mandarin, right? And then can you see the reply? 投资是 and so on, right? Yeah, and it looks like it's a traditional Chinese. Yeah, 繁体. Okay, so this is the academic explanation of what's ChatGPT, right? Yeah, so right now we're going to go to the practical part. So how does this ChatGPT works? Now, before we talk about it, before this ChatGPT trend, we commonly use Google, right? So for example, if I type, what is ChatGPT? Then of course, the Google will give a list of results. And then usually when we want to do research, we go and click on the result, copy, paste, paraphrase, and so on. Yeah, so to me, it's really quite useful because during my era when I was in university, if you ask something like, what is ChatGPT, right? Nobody's going to tell you an answer. So the lecturer will say, go to the library. And then you'll spend like one day trying to pick up books. I think right now life is very much easier. So that is a Google way of trying to find information. But ChatGPT interface looks like this. By the way, this is my account, right? So can you see here? chat.openai.com. Don't worry. Later on, after our session, you can go and Google, open an account. Now, open an account, they require you to provide the email and a mobile phone. Okay, so for example, just now was Google, right? What is ChatGPT? There's a whole list of search results, and then you try to find and then try to compile. But this specific ChatGPT function do you see my question over here? I asked, what is ChatGPT? Oh, it takes a couple of seconds, and you produce line by line answers. Can you see here? So I don't have to go and check through all the results. It just produces you one paragraph. Yeah. So I'm assuming at the back end, they're trying to prove from different sources and then present to you an answer as though there is a human at the back end replying, but it's actually a machine. Yeah. So this is how it works. Now, then of course, these are a lot of things. Then the next one, right, is I wanted to understand how is this ChatGPT related to artificial intelligence. Now, before I carry on, let me just go back to the answer over here. Right? Now, pay attention to the answer. Oh, ChatGPT is a language model, very textbook, right? Developed by OpenAI. Now, and then, you see, for me, I'm not an AI person, right? So I wanted to understand, people talk about AI and ChatGPT. So what's the relationship? So I want to be very specific with the question. So I asked, how is this ChatGPT, right, related to artificial intelligence? Then I realized that they produce the same answer, They didn't really answer my question. They just say, ChatGPT is a language model, which is actually exactly the same answer that was reproduced by my first question, or developed by OpenAI that uses artificial intelligence, and so on. Okay, but I'm going to go a bit slow here, Now remember, it's a language model developed by OpenAI. Later I'll talk about what organization this is, that uses this artificial intelligence to generate human-like text. Remember, ask a question, they reproduce the answer. And remember, right, it's based on deep learning technique. Now, based on the first video you saw, remember, the video talks about deep learning, called transformer architecture, which is the T, right, transformer? Yeah, not the movie, and has been trained on a large corpus of text data to generate response to a wide range of queries. So in other words, they are able to provide answer because they gather information from a huge amount of text data, right? Massage it and then reproduce and then pass it back to you. Now, last sentence, the model uses AI to predict the next word in the text and so on. But I think the key thing is this part. Yeah. So right now I know what's ChatGPT based on the function. Now then the next one, right? I wanted to understand. I mean, since the ChatGPT is an AI function that's created or produced by this OpenAI, right? But what is OpenAI? Is it a company? Is it a listed company and so on? So I asked ChatGPT again, what is OpenAI? So now ChatGPT replied, OpenAI is a research organization dedicated. Okay, so they produce a textbook answer, right? The key thing is, look at this. It was founded in 2015, right? Which is 7 years ago, no? It's not 7 days ago. By Elon Musk, everybody know. But all these fellas over here, I have no idea who they are. Yeah. And then OpenAI focuses on creating cutting edge or all this very generic thing. Or is committed and so on. So eventually, I was very curious because this is a one-sentence answer, right? But it takes me one step forward. So what I did was, I didn't use ChatGPT. I escaped. I go to Google, and then I Google OpenAI. I mean, I'm just curious, a website, how does it look like? Oh, and then here it talks about OpenAI, it's an AI research. Yeah, so it's actually an organization, right? Organization, yeah. So if you want to know more about the company, you can always go to openai.com and so on. Okay, so right now I think to make it more interesting, I'm going to escape my slide, right? I'm going to go to the browser, right? Browser, because nothing beats doing a demonstration, right? Demonstration. So right now I'm going to share my browser right now. Okay. Yeah, just to make sure that my colleague can see the browser, right? Can see the browser? Yeah. Okay, let me share with you one funny thing. I want you to pay attention to the top part. Can you see here? You know, before this YouTube live start, actually, I just typed. Actually, you can ask naughty question, right? So, for example, I asked, write me a 200-word article on value investing. It took them maybe about 10 seconds. Can you see? Now, remember, I didn't count whether is it 200. But if it's exactly 200, I think it's amazing, right? Yeah, so can you see? Yeah, so if this GPT, right, is really that fantastic. At this point, do you realize that a lot of, how should I say, right, some jobs may be disrupted? Yeah, because I no need writer. I just write me a 500 word, write me a 6,000 word. But of course, I think humans still need to be involved because it's quite hard to verify how true this one is. Yeah, I think I would prefer to trust a human than to trust a machine. Yeah, okay, so this one, right? Yeah, so maybe I'm just going to do a demo. So you see, I'm already in the account. See, so my mouse is right at the bottom, right? So I'm going to type something like, I'm going to ask a naughty question, right? How to become a millionaire? Millionaire in, let's say, 5 years. Anyway, it's free, right? You can ask naughty question. Yeah. So right now on the social media, a lot of get rich quick scheme. So let me see, right? How to become a millionaire in 5 years. Okay, maybe I put 1 year, right? 1 year. This is a naughtier. Okay, 1 year. Yeah. Okay. So you see, I typed the question. Can you see right now? Interesting, right? Can you see the answer? It pops up as though I'm asking a human, but it's pure text, right? Becoming a millionaire in 1 year is an ambitious goal. Significant effort. Okay, you see, it's quite fun, right? Network seek building. It's not a guaranteed outcome. There's high degree of risk involved. Yeah. Okay, so this is roughly how ChatGPT works. Yeah, maybe let me ask another difficult question or naughty question. Right? For example, summarize. Let's see whether can this ChatGPT summarize book. Summarize a what's the book written by Robert Kiyosaki, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. Summarize Rich Dad, right? rich dad, poor dad, yeah, in 5 key points. Whoa, that's a tough one. By the way, I didn't practice this beforehand, right? Summarize rich dad, poor dad, book. Okay, maybe I give you more information. Written by Robert Kiyosaki. In 5 key points. Summarize that. Okay, let me press enter. Yeah. Hang the ChatGPT. Wow, this is too much. Never pay me. Oh, interesting, right? Can you see? Well, amazing. This is emphasize need for financial literacy. Now remember, I state 5 key points. So at home you can state like 8 points, 10 points, and so on. Yeah, I think I better don't tell my girl about this, right? So in case the teacher asks them write essay, yeah, my girl just write a 300 essay, the relationship between Singapore and Malaysia, something like this. Wow, amazing, So you can also summarize, right? So some form of intelligence, Okay, so I'm going to leave it as such. So this is a demo. So remember, if you're interested, you can open an account, just an email and phone will do, and you can ask a lot of questions and so on. Yeah. But there's one question, right? That I want to ask about. Can you give me some stock tip? Then in the end, the system cannot give stock tip. Okay, see, for example, give me one stock tip that can make me rich. That can make anyone rich. Yeah, so I realized that they can't give answers on opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry, you see. I cannot provide investment advice. Very, very good, huh? They copy my disclaimer, right? And then they paste it here. Okay, got it. So let me just get to the slide. Y'all can go and play this until the cows come home. I think it's better that y'all play with this than to watch Netflix, right? Okay, so I'm back to my slide. I just need my colleague to put it back, right? Yeah. Okay, so what can ChatGPT do? Just now I already shared some demonstration, right? Can write poems. This poem, maybe you can try, Write me a 100-word poem about value investing. Wow, I don't know how are they going to do it. So you see, you answer question, right? Now, be very careful. Answering question, I provide information based on facts. I am not very sure about this. Provide facts. Yeah, because how do you define fact, right? Is it provided by other people who is going to validate? So I'm not very sure, which is why I put inverted commas. So be very careful, right, that you read any response from ChatGPT and then treat it like a fact. Yeah, it may not be true, Yeah, you can do translation, you can engage in chat conversation. Engage in chat conversation. So at night, if you cannot sleep, you chat with ChatGPT. Okay, write software, create coding. Okay, so there's a lot. Yeah, so after seeing the demonstration, after seeing all this so-called the possibilities, of course, the next question is this ChatGPT, right, going to be the next big thing? Can it make money for us? Now, I'm going to share with you some facts. These are facts, right? These are facts. So I think everybody know what is Google. Now, remember, right, in order for Google to reach 1 million users, it took them 5 years. 5 years, yeah. 5 years is really quite short. Netflix is 3.5. Yeah, so what does it mean between these two? People prefer to watch TV than just do research. See, this is quite crap, right? Now, next one, Twitter, 2 years, you see? Yeah, Facebook, 10 months. Coming, Instagram, 2.5 months. All this, Okay, last one, ChatGPT, 5 days. Yeah, so in other words, 30 million users per day. Now, remember, right now, this ChatGPT is still not making money yet. But I want you to look at the amount of potential. If it's able to attract 13 million users in 5 days, what does it mean, right? You collect a dollar from this 13 million. So what does it mean? It means that this company can make $13 million per day. And then it's still just the beginning, right? Yeah, so that's why people talk about it. And of course, the potential industry, there are so many. But I think on my side, right, I think what's relevant for us is, for example, writing articles, doing research. And for investment books, usually it's quite thick, right? Yeah, but if you don't want to read the book first, you just want to know 5 key points of certain book before you buy. Yeah, before you buy, then you just ask, can you summarize, like the Rich Dad Poor Dad, 5 key points? And then once you know the 5 key points, you find that maybe it's nice that you buy the book. If not, actually the 5 key points is really good. Yeah, so healthcare, finance, Interesting, huh? What is value investing? And then they give you a summary. So that's really amazing. So Jerry has shared that $20 coming soon. Okay, $20 multiplied by 30 million. Wow, what until the cows come home. And then who started this ChatGPT? You know, Elon Musk. Oh, Elon Musk is already the richest. I think plus this one. Yeah, hard to become richer than Elon Musk. But of course, what are the pros? This is a bit of academic slide. Okay, speed, efficiency, create unique content, versatile, quite interesting, huh? Can summarize. This is the one that I've not tried yet. Yeah, and the reason why I talk about this is, for example, I have businesses in Taiwan, right, and Hong Kong, and then they use Chinese, the Mandarin traditional, and then a lot of time is being spent on trying to do translation. Yeah, so maybe next time what I can do is I can say translate this. Then I go and compare to the Google translation and see which one is more accurate. Yeah, provided you recognize Mandarin. But if you translate the Japanese, even if they translate wrongly, you also don't know. Yeah, so very interesting. Ease of use, accessible. Of course, you can use your phone. Yeah. So cons and limitation, I think copyright, especially for students and you want to submit, right? And then, of course, bloggers have to be very careful. Plagiarism. Oh, before I carry on, I just want to let you know, many years ago, I think this website should be still around. You know, sometimes you hire copywriters, you hire writers, bloggers. Sometimes they also copy and paste. So for my site, I hire writers. And how do I know that they copy and paste? So what I do is I use a website called Copyscape. Now, I'm not very sure whether it's still around, Copyscape. Yeah, so what I do is I take the article from the vendor, I copy and paste inside here. And then they will highlight, which are the segments are being copied. Yeah, so the moment, then they even talk about the percentage. Yeah, percentage. So right now, there's even software, right, that you can ask ChatGPT a question, they produce the answer, and you want to bypass this function of Copyscape. So what you can do is you can take the answer from this ChatGPT, paste it on another software that they will rewrite. And then after you take the rewritten response, and then paste it in this Copyscape, and then they'll tell you 1% copy, the remaining 99% are original. Wow, interesting, huh? Interesting, So that people are always very creative to come up with things that they could bypass anything. Yeah, interesting, So of course, need to check for biases and misinformation. Yeah, be very careful, right? Be very careful. Ethical concerns, cannot predict the future, and so on. So these are some of the cons and limitations. But of course, ultimately, from what I've shared, maybe in the past 10 minutes, is to demonstrate ChatGPT, how it's being used. Very basic information. But most important thing that relates to investing, right, in which we're going to talk about today, is Microsoft has already shared that they are going to invest in ChatGPT. So at the end of the day, if things work out fine, if the acquisition takes place, would you consider investing in Microsoft? Interesting. And then Google, right? You also know. Yeah. So right now, I'm going to pass my airtime to Hillary, where Hillary will do the hard work. Okay, so back to Hillary. Thank you.
Hi, good evening everyone. This is Hillary here. So right now I'll be carrying on to find out that why and how will Microsoft benefit from investing in ChatGPT. Like earlier on, there's one of the participants, Kok Hai, mentioned that Microsoft is going to incorporate ChatGPT into their Bing, which we will also further find out about it. So here in this article, Microsoft said that they are investing 10 billion into the ChatGPT founder, which is the OpenAI. So in a way that Microsoft will now own 49% of the company, as if they are almost owning the company, because it's only like 1% more than they are like the owner of the ChatGPT company. And will ChatGPT increase the competitive edge of Microsoft when they invest into this company? So this is the reason why we will find out whether will this be a big thing for Microsoft. And earlier on, I've seen one of the participants ask if ChatGPT, is it a public company? Actually, it is not yet a public company because it's under OpenAI, which is a private company. But if you're interested in ChatGPT, maybe should you look into Microsoft? We'll find out later. Okay, so why did Microsoft wanted to invest in OpenAI, which is one of the questions that we have when Microsoft had announced the news that they are investing 10 billion into OpenAI. So because Microsoft, they do their own AI research, by working together with OpenAI, they are able to further develop a more cutting-edge AI research, and also to make AI as the new technology platform, which is one of the reasons why Microsoft wanted to invest in OpenAI. So let's look at what are the AI projects that is being done by Microsoft so far. So the first one is Cortana, which is a personal digital assistant. So this is similar to Apple Siri or Amazon Alexa, where you mention to them and then they'll give you some results and something like that. But compare between Siri and Cortana, or maybe even Alexa, which one would you prefer at the moment? But if Cortana has ChatGPT, so now, which one would you prefer? Now next, another one is Microsoft Teams, where it's something similar to Zoom, where everyone goes online and have meeting. But imagine that during meeting in the traditional way, we will have a secretary to write down the minutes and then send it to people. But if there's a ChatGPT incorporated into Microsoft Teams, where there's another secretary, which is an AI that actively writes down the minutes, and then if it's a global company where there's a lot of people who are speaking different languages, usually people will wait for another translator to translate before they continue with their speech. But with ChatGPT translation function, they can translate immediately in real-time manner, so it will not delay the meeting minutes, where when a person speaks in their own native language, then on the meeting slide itself, they will show the translated document to the participants in their own native language. So this is one of the multilingual features that ChatGPT has. And next, Microsoft Azure. So for this one, I was a bit puzzled because we know that this example is similar to Google Cloud. So this one is actually a public cloud for businesses. So I've been thinking, what is the difference between this Microsoft Azure and the Microsoft OneDrive? So actually this one, it has different types of functions to allow businesses to run their applications on this public cloud. So these are some of the features that is being available on Microsoft Azure compared to like Microsoft OneDrive, where they only store documents, files on their cloud system. And this is the Microsoft research that's being done by Microsoft. So now we'll find out that since Microsoft is investing in it, how will they benefit? So first thing is to improve their Cortana and chatbots, and also incorporate it into Bing. So by incorporated into Bing, there'll be more people using the platform. Because before ChatGPT, I believe most of the people prefer to use Google because we think that Google will provide more relevant information for us. But as Cayden has showed earlier, when we are doing research on Google, there's a lot of documents appear, but we need to take time to slowly find out which are the informations that we need. But imagine that with ChatGPT incorporated into Bing, you just type a few words, and then all those answers has been presented in the proper manner to you, which cuts down the research time. So right now, which search platform would you prefer? And then next, it also helps them to expand their cloud computing market, especially to have AI services incorporated into the cloud base, like the Microsoft Azure, and also to advance their own AI research and development efforts, because there's a lot of AI expertise from OpenAI. So by working together with OpenAI, they are able to further advance this research and development efforts. Okay, so all in all, Microsoft is still a company. So we wanted to know that how does Microsoft actually generate their revenue? So in 2022, Microsoft actually generated 198 billion of revenue in 3 business segments. So let's look at one by one. So the productivity and business processes, on my right side, the Microsoft Office is one of the representative product that is under this business segment. And they generated about 32% of the revenue, which is 63.3 billion in 2022. And you can see that over here, Microsoft Teams is under this business segment. So keep in mind about this. And then the next one is Intelligent Cloud, which is the Microsoft Azure, which they generate the lion's share of the revenue in 2022. And next, more personal computing. It generates about 30%, but it comes from 4 different areas, which is here, Windows OEM. So Windows OEM is that when you purchase a new computer, the Windows software is already being installed onto the computer, compared to like you subscribe to the Microsoft 365 or maybe purchase another individual Windows software. So OEM means that the software is already being installed onto the PC. And devices are like the phones or maybe the notebooks. Gaming is here, as we showed here, Xbox, and new search and news advertising, which is Bing. So from here, we can see that Bing actually generated a very small amount of revenue compared to their intelligent cloud. And also there's another participant mentioned that there's a subscription fee of $20, which is over here. So by subscribing to the ChatGPT Plus, which is like a premium program, they will have a faster response and priority access during peak times. Because when we are typing those information, we wanted to have immediate answers like within a few seconds. But when there's a lot of people doing their own research or generate information from ChatGPT, there will be some delay or lag time. So in order to have faster response, they may consider to subscribe to a ChatGPT Plus. So now let's do some simple maths. So we assume that every day there's a unique of 13 million users, and they say that there's too many people using ChatGPT. I want to have faster response. So I decided to pay for the $20 subscription fee. So within a month, it will be generating about 260 million. How about a year? It will be 3.12 billion, which is quite a huge amount, I would say. So if ChatGPT is incorporated to Bing, then it will boost up the revenue for the personal computing section. How about Microsoft Azure? It will definitely boost up another segment, and Microsoft Teams, also another segment. So we can see that by incorporating ChatGPT into Microsoft different products and also services, it might be able to boost their revenue if people like to use these functions. And of course, as a value investors, we not only rely on news, we wanted to know that whether is this company a good company for us to invest in. So we will look at some of the financial metrics. As usual, we will look at revenue, which is the sales that the company generated. So from here, we will usually look at a few years trend. So we commonly use 10 years, but if you prefer, you can use even a longer year to make sure that the company is generating a positive and consistent uptrend, which is something we wanted to see. And then earnings per share, which is to find out that for every share that the investor purchased, how much of the earnings can the company generate? So here, we also wanted to see that the trend is in a positive and consistent uptrend. And also, we wanted to see their cash flow. So operating cash flow is actually the cash flow generated from their normal business activities. And here, in short, it means that when the cash flow is positive, the money is coming in from the business activities. But if it's negative, it means that the cash is flowing out or the company is bleeding cash in order to keep the company in operation. And the next one, the last one that we will look at is the debt to equity, which is to find out how much debt is the company having. So this is to check on the company's long-term debt situation. So based on value investing methodology, this is the criteria that we wanted to see that this ratio should be less than 0.5. In a more simple term, it means that for every $100 of the equity, the company cannot take more than $50 off the debt. Okay, so right now let's look at the financial metrics. So first one, for the revenue, we see that it's in a positive and consistent uptrend, which based on value investing methodology, we'll give it a tick. And then the next one, the EPS, is also a positive and increasing uptrend, another tick. And operating cash flow is also in a consistent positive uptrend, a tick for value investing methodology. And now let's look at their debt condition. So for the past few years, it might be a bit high and more than 0.5, but we can see that since 2017, the company has been able to bring down the debt to below 0.5, which is a good thing. But since Microsoft is going to invest into ChatGPT, will the debt shoot up? That is anyone's best guess. So this is something that we should continue to monitor if someone is interested to invest into the company. So for these 4 metrics, this is just a simple screening to find out whether the company is a good company and is it worth our time to further investigate into it before we decided to say, okay, this is a company that we are interested to invest in. So now we have learned about Microsoft. How about their competitors? Because right now on the news, there's a few companies, tech companies that say that, oh no, ChatGPT is here, it's causing some viral. So who are the ones that are in competition? The first one, definitely Google. So when ChatGPT was launched, actually Google said something like code red, which means they are in danger. But why are they in danger? Later we'll find out why Google said that it is in danger and what are they going to do about it. Next, the other company that is also interested in the ChatGPT technology is Baidu. So these 2 companies are 2 companies that we will explore for today. And now we'll find out that why is this ChatGPT threatening Google. So now let's look at the search advertisement revenue in US. So for Google, it's actually taking the lion's share for this search advertisement revenue. And when we look at Microsoft, it's a lot less compared to Google. And from year on year, we can see that actually they are actually dropping, which is not really a good news for Microsoft. But then with ChatGPT, maybe it will increase. So now let's look at Google's revenue. So in 2022, Google has actually generated about 282.8 billion USD dollar, which is a lot more compared to Microsoft. But then when we look further into their business segments, we realize that all these 3 segments are mainly about advertisement search. So in the event that because ChatGPT allows people to do their research or finding search in a much faster manner, which one people will consider to be using in the future? So if there's a lot more people consider to use Bing or maybe some other Microsoft products, will this revenue be affected? Definitely, right? So that is the reason why Google management suddenly sent out code red and they decided to do something about it to prevent the company from losing more revenue. And now let's look at what Google decided to do to overcome this. So they decided to take on ChatGPT with their own search engine, which is Bard. So how does Bard actually looks like? So from here, it's actually ChatGPT on the Google platform. So that means you type in the questions and then they will generate out the answers as per ChatGPT. But whether is it accurate or whether is it as good as ChatGPT, that is anyone's best guess. And next, how about Baidu? So Baidu says that they are actually trying to do something like a ChatGPT style, and the project is called Ernie Bot, but we will only find out more in March. Okay, so we already find out more about Microsoft. So how about the 3 other companies that are also involved in the AI space? So the first one that we found out is actually EPAM System, which is a company that I was not aware of until I do this research. So what do? They are actually a company, American company that produces the software product development and also digital platform, where they provide this software solution to these industries. And their AI projects is involved in is NLP and sentiment analysis. That means based on the text, they will find out whether the text is a positive or negative or neutral emotion, as if that the AI has some emotion detection. And computer vision, as the word says, is as if that the robotic has a vision like a human being. So the computer vision are used in all these different fields. And next, in chatbots and virtual assistants, predictive analytics, machine learning, and also recommender system. So these are the AI projects that EPAM is involved in. So how about their financial metrics? So their revenue is in a positive and increasing uptrend. EPS is also increasing and positive. Operating cash flow is also increasing and positive. And their debt is actually quite low, which is lesser than 0.5. So another positive tick. Okay, so next, the next company that we look at is NVIDIA, because in order to facilitate all this technology stuff, there is an important part that they really need, which is the semiconductor chips. So NVIDIA is actually a semiconductor chip designer for computers, mobile devices. And now we'll find out that what are the AI projects that NVIDIA is actually involved in. So the first one is for autonomous vehicles, transportation, and also AI-powered robotics, where the robots will move on their own with minimal human intervention. And also AI-powered data centers, smart cities, as you can see in this diagram, healthcare for medical imaging, and also in retail for customer contact, and also product recommendations. So these are the AI projects that NVIDIA is actually involved in. So let's look at their financial metrics. So their revenue is also in a positive uptrend. EPS, the same. Cash flow is also the same. And their debt is actually below 0.5. But we can see that in 2021 and 2022, it has slightly increasing. So if investors are interested in this company, they should also further monitor on this company. Okay, so the third and last company that we will look at is actually Adobe. So this one, Adobe, most of the people will definitely know because they provide software and services in these areas. And they actually incorporate the AI and also machine learning to enhance the workflow. What does it actually mean? So now let's look at the AI projects that are involved in Adobe Sensei. So this one is a bit like incorporated into their existing software where they apply AI into their workflows. Like for example, in the Creative Cloud, like there's a picture that you wanted to edit. Last time when we edit, we have to like figure how to do the settings or anything. But with AI, you can easily say that help to lighten up the picture or maybe increase the specs of the photo so that it looks brighter. Then the AI will definitely work out within a few seconds. And then the other one is in Marketing Cloud. So you can see here on the bottom here, these are some of the projects that is being involved in this Marketing Cloud. And finally, Adobe Sign, which is the signature that we sign on in the e-document. Last time we will sign it on a physical paper, but what about the documents on software, on soft copy? So Adobe Sign has this AI function to allow us to sign it on an e-document. So these are some of the background of Adobe. And now we'll come back to the financial metrics. So the revenue, like the past two companies, is in a positive, consistent uptrend. And EPS is also the same. Operating cash flow is also similar trend. And the debt to equity ratio is also below 0.5. So with this, we find out about these three companies. It looks good in our opinion. However, it does not mean that all these companies are ready to buy at the moment because we have to find out that whether is the company considered cheap or expensive. Even though the company is good, but if it's expensive, then we might be paying more than what we do. Okay, so to conclude it all, the pros about ChatGPT is that it is really able to improve productivity. Like comparing when you're doing the research, you have to go to the library to hit on the books or go onto the search engine and look through tons of information or just type in a question onto a ChatGPT to find what you need. And then it can be used in various functions like not only generating text, it can generate codes and also generate poems, like different types of text related. And also, it's very easy to use. You just type it in and the information will be produced out. However, there are some cons that need to be considered, which is the copyright. And also plagiarism, like people just copy and paste. And also, based on the facts that they are given, you need to double check whether is the facts correct or not. So overall, this is the research that we have done on ChatGPT, and I hope you have enjoyed the session. And now I will pass the session back to Cayden, and thank you everyone.
Hi, this is Cayden again. Welcome back. So right now I've just shared my slide, right, which is the last slide of what Hillary has shared, which is the pros and cons. Yeah, I just wait for my colleague to present this slide, and then I could start right now. Now let's do a very quick recap of what Hillary has shared in terms of the number of company. Yeah, I think the first company that she talks about, right, that wanted to fight with this ChatGPT. Yeah, of course, the first one is actually Microsoft. I'm just going to write MS for short. Yeah, and then next one is Google, right? Google is going to come up with their own version of ChatGPT, and then the third one is Baidu. So these are three companies. In just maybe short 30 minutes presentation by Hillary, she already mentioned these three. Now remember, when we mention these three, doesn't mean that you're going to buy all these three. Yeah? But of course, for those people who have attended our four-day value investing program, you can do the research on this. But if you don't have time and you are our US case study subscriber, maybe in our next couple of months we can talk about these three. So that's one related to the search engine AI search engine ChatGPT. And then subsequently, she talks about another three companies that are more or less maybe in the AI space, right? Or at least embarking on the AI space. The first one, right, is also the first time that I heard about this, EPAM. Yeah, quite interesting. The numbers look nice, right? Maybe I will also include this as part of the US case study, right? EPAM. Then the other two you're more familiar, NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA. If you're a gamer, you know all this stuff, a guy, right? NVIDIA. The third one is Adobe. Yeah, so that's another three company. But remember, today's session, we are not doing like a analysis of all these six companies. It's going to take forever. So at least we intro this, is we do a bit of pre-screening, right? Yeah, so tonight you have 3 plus 3. Yeah. Sorry, say thank you for the detailed sharing. Okay, very good. So tonight you already got 6 ideas, right? 6 ideas. But remember, right, if you are a value investor like us, you cannot just tonight, right, 10:30 when the US market open and then you start pressing all this. It's quite dangerous. You still have to check whether does it have an economic mode, circle of competence, the VIA criteria, calculate the intrinsic value, and so on. So just now as the Hillary was presenting, that there was a bit of concern that was running through my heart, right? So I was thinking, wow, if the ChatGPT so powerful, will my job be replaced? Oh, this is quite dangerous. Because I'm an investor, right? Well, sekali, whether you want to buy any stock, you just need to type, and then Cayden become redundant. Yeah, so let me just share with you. Yeah, this is something last minute when Hillary is presenting, right? So I asked ChatGPT this question. What is the intrinsic value of Alibaba? Now, let me just share with you the context. Alibaba share price, right, has plunged from, I think, 300 plus, right, US dollar down to about 60 plus US dollar. And then right now, I think it's back to about 110. Yeah, so as value investors, assuming that Alibaba is a good company, now you want to find an entry point, right? And to find an entry point, you want to calculate the intrinsic value. So I want to see whether it's ChatGPT smart enough and whether will my job be replaced. Okay, so I asked what's the intrinsic value of Alibaba? You see here, it gives like an academic definition. Okay, then to determine the intrinsic value, to note that forward. In summary, ChatGPT didn't give the answer. So I get to keep my job. You get what I mean? But who knows, in 5 years, 10 years time? Yeah, but assuming that if ChatGPT, right, say the intrinsic value is 150, let's say. I mean, in years to come, someday they will provide some answer. So if ChatGPT say $150, would you sell your house, take 300K, right, like Stephen Lim Koko, right, and then go and buy SingPost or go and buy Alibaba just because the ChatGPT tell you the intrinsic value as such? Will you do it? I'm not very sure whether will other people do it, but for me, the answer is no. Because I'm not going to bet my hard-earned money and then rely on a machine. Yeah, so this is very dangerous. Because right now, even before ChatGPT, right, there are some financial website, for example, Morningstar, Guru Focus, all this. They also provide intrinsic value. So when I subscribe to some of this information, right, I take it with a pinch of salt because I have no idea what's the algorithm behind, what's the assumption. So it's very dangerous to buy things based on other people's opinion, and that includes a robot or AI. So just take note. Yeah. So Jerry laugh. Okay, very good. So so let me just add on, other than the 3 companies that a total 3 plus 3, right, given by Hillary, I'm going to add on 4 more companies to make this evening more exciting. So since we're going to talk about AI, so what I did was I just Googled this on what are the AI company that we could invest. Then this Motley Fool, right? This Motley Fool, which is like a paid site that so-called do stock recommendation, talk about top 4 AI, not individual stocks. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, which is a basket of stock, right? Because stock picking, it requires some specific skill. And if some of you who are watching this, you have not attended our 4-day VIP, so better not. But let's look at a basket of stock. Now remember, this article is quite new and is free, so I just Google, right? And then this American, I suppose, called Jeremy Bowman, say, hey, these are the top 4 AI ETF in 2023. Okay, so they start recommending, right? So what did this website recommend, right? This website recommend 4 AI ETF, Global X, all this. Now, by the way, when I did the research, I have never heard before these 4 ETF. There are thousands of ETFs in the world, right? Yeah. So one thing is I saw this 4, I have no idea what is it. Asset under management, it doesn't mean much. It only says that if this number is very big, that means the fund manager that's managing this has a lot of cash. But it doesn't mean that this ETF is performing. Yeah. So remember, right? Asset under management means nothing. Now, this one has some meaning. Expense ratio, right, 0.68, 0.95. What does this mean? Now, when I look at a low-cost S&P index fund, right, the expense ratio is about 0.03. Yeah, so expense ratio of 0.68, that's very high, that's very high. To me, it's quite high. Yeah, so actually, the expense ratio this high is already a turn-off already. But let's assume that it's cheap. Yeah, let's look at the quality of this, right? So remember, since tonight we're talking about ChatGPT. Yeah, instead of using Google, right? So let's ask whether this Global X, let's look at the first one. Yeah, is this ChatGPT, the hype, right, intelligent enough to tell us, advise us, or provide enough information so that we can decide whether is it a yes to buy this or no to buy this? Okay, see what happened, right? Now, but before that, this is the website of the first ETF that Motley Fool has recommended. Okay, now let's see what they do, right? Reason to consider this, and of course they put all this information because they want you to buy their ETF, right? High growth potential, compelling economics. They can say whatever they want. Yeah, and these are the top holdings. Yeah, Nvidia, remember? Nvidia, right? What else? Yeah, and by the way, the rest, I have no idea what this company. This one is a Japanese company, right? You see, all this is a Japanese company. And I have no idea, but I'm flying to Japan in 2 weeks' time. Wow, so this is quite challenging. If I see this, I also don't know what's going on. Yeah, but let's ask ChatGPT. Free, See, my question very direct one. Can I make money, right, from investing in this first this ETF recommended by Motley Fool? Investing this has the potential. Now it's like a motherhood statement, right? As the demand, as like any investment that's going to increase. You see, the moment I see this answer, I mean, it's a yes or no question, right? Yeah. So some benefit, okay. However, also consider risk. You see, so from the answer, it sounds like Donald Trump. When you ask a direct question, Donald Trump say a lot of things. In other words, he like to give non-answer to a question. Okay, so at the end of the day, the ChatGPT, right, didn't tell you yes or no. But I think the good thing on the bright side of things is it tell you the benefits. Tell benefit and then tell you the risk. Yeah, like Hillary with the pros and cons. Okay, so is it useful? Okay, so at this point, right, if you want to buy this, this answer may not be helpful in giving an answer. Okay, yeah. Then next one, right? That was the first question. The second question is, Warren Buffett recommend people, right, to put money in a low-cost S&P 5 index fund. So what I did was when Hillary was presenting, I asked this question. So is this ETF, does this ETF perform better than Vanguard? Yeah, because if the answer is yes, it performed better, then I will buy this. Right? So I try to twist the question, see whether ChatGPT maybe accidentally leak out the answer. Okay, Then here, right, what did they say? It's difficult to make a comparison between this and this. And then they tell you the reason why they cannot do it. Okay, so in other words, it's a non-answer. Non-answer disguised as answer. So in other words, after I asked 2 questions, right, ChatGPT has no answer. But it's also a relief for me. Otherwise, I become jobless, right? Yeah, I become jobless. Yeah, so these are the things that, So right now, since the artificial intelligence, right, cannot give you the answer of whether to buy the yes or no to buy the for a ETF, AI ETF, right? Let's bring in instead of artificial intelligence, right? Let's bring in cadence intelligence. Okay, and see whether cadence more intelligence can beat the ChatGPT. Okay, ready? Yeah. So let's look at the first one. So right now we're using cadence intelligence, right? Cadence intelligence. So artificial intelligence ETF. The first one that Molefu has recommended is this. Now, just to let you know that how do we decide, right, whether is it a buy, don't buy, and so on. One way, not the ultimate way. One way is to look at the past performance, even though, right, the past performance may not reflect the future. Because if the past performance, they're not doing well, right, it's quite difficult to justify a decision to buy. Okay, so got it? So let me just share with you this. Now, what I did was, this blue line, right, is Vanguard. Yeah, ticker symbol is VOO, which is a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Yeah, here, And then the one that's recommended by Motley Fool, right, is the yellow one. Can you see? So I'm going to go a bit slow over here. So what does this mean? What does this graph mean, right? Now, the VOO is on top. Yeah, the other one, the robot one, right, the AI one is at the bottom. Yeah, it simply means that from this point, should be 2018, right? 2018 until, right now 2023, right? VOO still perform better than this AI ETF. Now that's based on historical past, right? Now in future, as AI become more mature, right? Will this AI ETF, this one recommended by Motley Fool, will it surpass VOO? The answer is no one knows. Yeah, no one knows. Okay, so this one. Now, and the reason why I also need to show you some factual information, right, is whenever somebody recommends something, whether it's through ChatGPT or through Motley Fool or whoever, you have to be very careful. And in order for you to be very careful, you must know what to do, right? And in order for you to know what to do, you must have some form of human intelligence in the form of investment. Because if you don't, you won't know what to do, right? Even though tools for Google or ChatGPT are free. Now, let me share with you what tools that I use. You see, tools are free, but if you don't have that, sense of how to use the information, right, free also no use. Okay, So the tools, right, is called Google Finance. Google Finance. So what I did was I add in the VOO first, and then I add in other things. Yep. So VOO as a base point, right, and the rest, so you can do some comparison. But remember, ChatGPT said it's very hard to do comparison. So right now, I think the AI for ChatGPT may not be that polished yet in terms of finance. So that's number one. So in other words, if we make comparison of VOO, I think here not so good. Not so good, right? So let's look at the second one. Second one is Robo Global Robotics. All these names sounds really nice, right? Yeah. And by the way, the next session, we're going to cover robo-advisors. So Robo Global ETF, right? Now, so let's, again, right, use a very simple comparison. This one, do you see something a bit interesting? A Vanguard is the blue one. Yeah, most of the years outperform, right? And then the yellow one right at the bottom is slightly outperform S&P 500 during this period. But remember, in 2021, it's a bull market, and everyone is a genius. Yeah, and it only happened once and never happened again. Yeah, so based on the past, do you want to do this? I think still no. But remember, in the future, we do not know, right? Yeah, so remember, 2 out of 4 recommendations given by Motley Fool, not so assuring. Okay, so this 2, right? So let's look at the third one. iShares, by the way, iShares is a very huge company. If I remember correctly, it's the largest ETF company in the entire planet. So iShares, robotic artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's look at the past performance. Yeah, so again, Vanguard, blue on top, outperformed the AI ETF. But remember, right, during this period when it's bullish, do you see? Yeah, so good times, it outperformed, and then the normal times, it didn't make it. Can you see right now? Yeah, so whether it's going to outperform again, nobody knows. But as of now, it doesn't seem to have a proven track record. So again, third, CI versus AI. Oh, that's a good one. That's a own self, bulls own self. Okay, so the third one doesn't seem to be assuring. So let's look at the last one, right? First Trust, NASDAQ. Wow, sounds like some big AI ETF. Let's look at this. So again, blue one top, yellow one at the bottom. Also not so assuring. And then here, everybody's a genius, right? Yeah, so I suspect all these are hype. Yeah, so can you see? So what's the conclusion as of now, right? The conclusion is, Motley Fool, right? Recommend this for, but I see this doesn't seem to work. Okay, so what to do? So at this point, I think the key thing is, you know, whether it's AI, you know, whatever you call it, I think it's important for us to recognize that artificial intelligence or whatever tools, right, including Motley Fool or whatever, they are tools. Yeah, they are tools, huh? And whether you want to believe and then trust your money with such tools, and that includes robo-advisors, you have to think it very carefully, because if something happened, you cannot sue Motley Fool, right, for sharing their 4 articles. Yeah, because for all such things, they always put a disclaimer. So remember, ultimately, is we call the shot, we take 100% responsibility. Yeah, and in order for us to take 100% responsibility, I think we need to be intelligent enough to use the tools and then assess whether some of the information is it helpful or not. And to that, and to do that, we have no choice but to have some form of human intelligence. Okay, very important, right? Yeah, never trust this fully. I think at this point, yeah. So I'm going to show you another picture. I think most of you will know, right? This person, he's called Lim Hock Chi. Lim Hock Chi and his family actually own Sheng Siong. So there's a huge contrast. Just now we talked about AI, you know, very high-tech stuff, disruptive. And here I'm talking about, you know, Sheng Siong. I mean, what's this, right? What's this, Now, just to let you know that I'm getting more and more senior, and then one day I may become the pioneer generation of Singapore. And the reason why I want to show you this is whether you make $10 from AI companies, or whether you make $10 by investing in Sheng Siong, right? The $10 sells the same, smells the same. So you don't have to, maybe you have some boasting right. Maybe over lunch you tell a friend that, oh, yesterday I invest in Adobe. Then a friend get excited, why do you do that? And then Cayden was beside you, right? Cayden, what do you invest in? I invest in Sheng Siong. Wow, I know, like sian. But actually the money makes the same, right? And the reason why I talk about this is at the end of the day when we invest, right? We just want money, Yeah, so whether the money comes from Tesla, some high-tech stuff, or OpenAI, whatever, right, or Sheng Siong, they're the same. That's what we want. It doesn't matter what people say about us. So let me just share with you this company called Sheng Siong over the long run, right? You see, you see, it still makes money, right? Yeah, this company still make money, Can you see? 1911, 19 August 2011, at this point, you know, 368%, yeah, from Sheng Siong. So now the question we have to ask is, do we understand tech companies such as Adobe, EPAM, or do you understand Sheng Siong better? Yeah, and assuming that you have some form or some level of understanding of these two companies, which are the companies will allow you to sleep comfortably at night? Okay, if it keeps you awake at night, maybe that's not the company you want to invest. So let's look at this Sheng Siong in detail, right? Now, if you look at this green line over here, this green line represents the profit of the company. So based on the study done by Professor Robert Shiller from Yale University, which is a Nobel Prize winning research professor, right? He once said that, you know, a share price in the short run cannot be predicted, but share price in the long run can be predicted. So how do you predict share price in the long run? Very easy, right? Share price movement always correlate the company's profit or earnings in the long run. So you may notice that when Sheng Siong's profit goes up, what happened to the share price? The share price goes up, right? And obviously, it doesn't make sense that when the companies make more and more money, the share price go to zero. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So the most dangerous thing is to buy a lousy company where the profit comes down and the share price go up. So for example, one company that looks like this is this company called C Limited. You know, the company with a subsidiary called Shopee. Shopee is under this C, right? So during the genius year, which is the bull run 2021, there are some people who recommend C just by looking at the revenue, which is dangerous. Yeah, because revenue is vanity, right? And the profit is sanity. Yeah. So at this point, remember, whether it's AI or some typical general companies are very easy to understand, right? The money that's being produced by both are the same. Now, but moving forward, just to let you know that to do individual stock pick, whether it's Adobe, whether it's NVIDIA, whether it's Sheng Siong, it may not be as easy because number one, ChatGPT don't give you the intrinsic value. And even it give you, would you trust it? Yeah. And then the second thing, ChatGPT also cannot recommend stock. Yeah, they just gather information, right, in one place and then they pass it to you. So ultimately, you have to assess whether the information are even true or not because you may not know. Yeah, where's the source of information? They didn't put the reference, right? So in other words, you want to do individual stock pick, relying on artificial intelligence, I think as of now, it's still quite dangerous. Yeah, because do you trust it? Yeah. So the first thing is, you see, even with ChatGPT, right, do you know where to search for companies to invest? We may not know. The second thing is even you are able to use ChatGPT to identify some companies. How do you know whether the company is good or bad? Yeah. Just now, by the way, I used the ChatGPT to search for this company called Phoenix New Media, which is actually a Chinese company listed in US. So my question was quite simple. My question is, what is the economic mode of this company, Phoenix New Media? And interestingly, ChatGPT lists out the range of economic mode. At the end of the day, actually, the company, I don't think it has an economic mode. Yeah, but because you ask AI give you what you want. Wow, this is quite dangerous. So in Naurus later on, you can go and try, right? If you maybe, if years ago this ChatGPT comes out, maybe if you ask what's the economic mode high flux, I suppose they'll produce the answer, and then you go and buy. So be very careful. I think most important is CI or Cayden intelligence, right? I think it's important for us to evaluate human being, whether a company is good or bad. And of course, ChatGPT cannot produce the intrinsic value, so you still need to know where's the entry exit point, right? And of course, if you want to ask human to do this, also very difficult for one person to do all this work. Yeah. So the reason why I want to show you this is because these are some big challenges that are faced by investors. And don't worry, right? If ChatGPT cannot solve this, so I'm here. So how do I help you to solve? I cannot solve alone. So just now somebody say CI, right? So instead of the word Cayden intelligence, I think I better replace C with combine, right? So let's call it combined intelligence. So what do I mean? Now, in order for us to invest, we must understand that at the end of the day, whether is it a McDonald's, Sheng Siong, AI, we only want three sources of income. Capital appreciation, long term. Yeah, buy below intrinsic value, sell above. Next one, you want to be paid dividend, right? Provided the company is making money. And the last one, of course, if you're our 4-day VIP, right, you can sell options to collect premium. Yeah, so these are things that you want, right? So what we did was, when the pandemic came, it became an opportunity for me, right, plus a group of people, and then combined intelligence. So Cayden plus the rest of us, right, combined intelligence. We start to search, right, for companies. And then this time now, we really use our human intelligence, in which I think AI cannot replace. Yeah. So what we did was we went through a structured step, based on a formula that's been around for the past 103 years old, which is called value investing. So what we did was a team of us, combined intelligence, we went to search for all the companies. But of course, we used tools such as screener. Then next one, right, combined intelligence, we evaluate whether companies are good or bad. Yeah, bad one, we take away, good one, we keep. And of course, combined intelligence, we are able to estimate the intrinsic value. Yeah, so that is far more superior than ChatGPT. And then ultimately, there's something ChatGPT also cannot do, right? Is how do you build a portfolio? Yeah, portfolio. Until the day when ChatGPT become very wise than human, which may take a very long time, right? Yeah, humans are still here to stay. So our combined intelligence, me and the rest are still here to stay. Now, so if you look at this post, yeah, I think I posted it maybe about 1 month ago. So here I updated on my Facebook, say we have one grad sharing how he started investing at age 19 with $3,000. So today he has about $250,000 portfolio. Yeah, and what do you do? During his time, there is no artificial intelligence, but he can still make money, right? Yeah, but of course, he is our grad. Yeah, and he focused on value investing. Yeah, value investing. Now, so the reason why I want to talk about this combined intelligence is until the day, right, when ChatGPT or any AI can become like Eltron, yeah, or Megan, right? They're so intelligent. Humans are still here to stay. Our combined intelligence are still here to stay. So the slide that you're looking at right now, right, is actually a gateway to the combined intelligence of VIA. So what does this mean? Now, for example, there's a button over there with the arrow, right? So if you key in your username and password, you can actually log in and see our combined intelligence. So in this slide over here, it shows an Excel file, a screenshot Excel file, right? So what is this all about? Now, these are some of the companies that we have discovered. These are the share price today. Now, when it's yellow, right, that means the company is still undervalued based on VIA's combined intelligence. Yeah, this is already overvalued. That means for this, right, the share price has already gone up. And the reason why they are more yellow than white, because right now it's a bear market. And the best part is bear market is usually short-lived, and it's the best time for us to invest. Yeah, so if I could show you the entire list, it all consists of 57 companies. Using our combined intelligence. take note, right? It doesn't happen with a click, right? Yeah, because it took us about 2 years plus. Yeah, comb the entire universe, and then eventually we found this 57 companies, yeah, in which ChatGPT cannot do. And out of these 57 companies, as of today, this afternoon, right, 42 companies are still undervalued, 73% are still undervalued because it's the bear market. Yeah, and the best part is you can have instant access to our combined intelligence tonight. Yeah, and you don't have to wait, yeah, for ChatGPT to be mature, right, next 10 years time. So what does it mean? Now, if you are able to access key the username and password, right? Now, for example, you want to know what are the companies to invest in different sectors. Just click on this sector, you know, our combined intelligence. We auto sort out into all the different sectors. And if you're interested in financial, just click on this financial. If you're interested in, let's say, healthcare, because you're a nurse, doctor, or whatever, you can click on this. So the key thing is all the things has been done for you. Done for you. That's the key thing, which saves you time and to reduce the chance that you're going to lose money, right? Yeah. So then if you click on these undervalued companies, can you see all the companies all pop up? Yeah, and I cover a lot, except I just show you one. Right? This is one of the stock that I bought sometime in year 2020 during the recession when the pandemic came. It's called Barrel Business. It's a HR company. And can you see right here, we also update the intrinsic value. Can you see IEV, intrinsic value, which ChatGPT cannot do? Yeah, of course, there are many companies. In total, we have 57 companies. So just by one click, right, you have access to all our combined intelligence, in which we have been trying to do all the work for the past 2 years plus. And then not only that, right, we meet frequently so that we can respond to you, yeah, live. So this is actually our very exclusive mentoring session, right, and it will take place 4 times per year. Yeah, very precious, yeah, priceless, right? So during each of our mentoring session, we will share 2 company updates, very detailed. Yeah, ChatGPT very brief, right? We share very detailed slides, graph, we explain to you the logic, and then of course we provide the new intrinsic value. And then not only that, you have a chance to talk to our authors, human, face to face. And the most important thing is also AI cannot do, right? Yeah, AI cannot do. Is if you are grads, you know that we sell options. Yeah, and some grads were asking me, hey, Cayden, if you don't mind, can you just share with us what are the options that I sell every month? Yeah, so that answer, right, will be reviewed in this exclusive mentoring session. Our next one upcoming is in March. And if you are a subscriber, right, you will have access to all these priceless things that I'm going to share. So remember, right, 8 to 10 CFOS opportunity, and of course, you got a chance to talk to me. And remember, our next mentoring session is going to be on March. The date is actually fixed, but I can't remember which one, but it's going to take place on March. So this is one of the most priceless thing, right, that I can ever give. So Jerry, US case study is really very good. So Jerry, just take note. I'm just guessing, right? This is highly speculative. I'm just guessing the moment the war stops between Russia and Ukraine, the bull run will come. And bull run usually takes place about 8 to 10 years, while the bear market maybe about 1 to 2 years. So in other words, 70-80% of the time it's a bull run. So in other words, out of the entire business cycle, we will make money 7 to 80% of the time, and then 10 to 20% of the time is the time for us to do cherry picking, which is now. Yeah, and of course, if some of you are not our graduates, but if you are graduates who has already forgotten what is it all about, right? You can learn, you can do some quick revision by clicking on this button, right? Bridging course. Once you click on it, can you see? These are some of the things that we will share with you. Now, as of now, I don't think ChatGPT has some video that explains to you. I don't think so. It's all pure text. Yeah, but we can present graph and so on. The human talk to you and so on. You can also send an email to our tech support and so on. So this is one example of a video that we produce. A lesson, right? It's called How to Know If It Is a Good Business. Yeah. And of course, if you want to have access to all the database that we have for the past 2 years, right? Tonight, 57 companies, 73% are still undervalued. If you want to have access today, like what Jerry, right, is already having access, it's going to take place tonight. Now, at the end of the day, right, you want to invest in a business, yeah, that's being done by combined intelligence, not artificial intelligence. And if let's say, right, you invest in one US company, all of you might know that one US company usually pay dividend 4 times. And you invest 10 US company, yeah, you get paid dividend 40 times, right? And if I take 365 days, yeah, divided by 40, you get paid every 9 days. And of course, if you build a portfolio of stock, 20 companies, you get paid 80 times per year, right? Which translate to 4.5 days of dividend payment. So I want you to imagine that, right now, right, Every 4.5 days, you get paid. And then multiply by 50 years of your life. It's going to be a lot of money, right? And I suppose that when AI become more mature, we can upgrade our platform by incorporating AI into our platform. Yeah, okay, huh? So let's come to the detail. And the moment you log in, right, what are the things that you will receive immediately so that we support you, right? So from today onwards, in the next 12 months, which is 1 year, right? Every single month we will deliver to you 2 companies, listed in the US, value investing style that's been around for the past 103 years old. Yep, so that it meets all the criteria of value investing. Yeah. So in other words, you literally just leave a bit of finger by keying the username and password, you just log in. And of course, here I put in the value, right? Like what Jerry was saying. It's one of the best. He said that US case study is really very good. The second one, of course, we talk about selling options. That is the instant cash. Instant gratification. And the best part is I'll show you step by step how to do it. I'll show you the ROI. I'll show you some of the companies that use to sell options. And of course, that will only take place provided you are in our US case studies subscriber universe. And of course, quarterly mentorship, live session on how to sell options based on the existing case study, and then we also provide company updates. Now, just this 1 and 2 and 3 alone, is going to be worth thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. And for those people who are busy, we also have executive summaries and we also have slideshow. And so right now, I'm just going to sidetrack a bit, especially for Jerry, right, and some of our US case study subscribers, just to let you know that in about 4 or 5 months' time, we are going to migrate all the case studies in our existing one to a new platform. And this new platform is highly mobile friendly, right? And then not only that, it comes with an app. So in other words, for people like Jerry, maybe let's say right now it's March, maybe by July or August, for Jerry, you will be able to use a new platform, much more user friendly, and you're going to have an app. And all these things will come to Jerry, right, with no extra cost if they are already existing US case study subscriber. And of course, the value, right, if I add all this up, future value, right, is about 16,000. So that's like your return on investment, right? So if you decide to be part of our combined intelligence, we call it VIA Atlas Project US case study, right? The monthly subscription with a return or a value of 16,000, right, is just a mere $136 per month. And if you change it to 1 year, it's 1776. 1776. This is for 1 year moving forward. Now, and if you join us today, right, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a 50% discount, right? So instead of 1776, you can have access to a combined intelligence for just a mere 888. So with a 50% discount. And if I divide by 12, it's only $74 because you can make a couple of $100 from the information that you have, right? And of course, for tonight only, now we are going to give you our past 2 years plus of hard work, which consists of 57 companies, and 42 are still undervalued. So right now, I will ask my colleague to post the link, right? Post the link. Oh, Alvin has been waiting for it. It's coming. Actually, it's quite expensive to develop, but it's coming, right? So right now, my colleague has already posted the link over there. In case you cannot see the link, maybe you want to refresh. If you're watching, right, just press the refresh browser, right? Refresh browser, So, and then if you stay with us, for people like Alvin and Jerry on the second year onwards, we will give you a discount. Usually fees go higher. We are the only company probably in Singapore that reverse the process. So we're going to give you this further discount because you are a loyal customer. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will need my colleague help, right, to play a video from Julie. Just to let you know, Julie, right, is actually our US case study subscriber. He's our 4-day value investing program graduate. He's our project never work again graduate. In other words, she's a graduate of all the things I have. So now the question is, why would Julie fork out X dollars, right, to invest in all these things? For a simple reason, she make at least maybe 5 times back. But let's hear it from her from this video. Thank you.
My subscription fee, I get it back within 1 to 2 clicks. Okay, I'm Julie. I'm from VIA Graduate Batch 31 and I work in a healthcare company. The reason why I started to subscribe to the US case studies is because of time. I realized that we need a lot of time in terms of doing the research, the filter, the analysis. Sometimes it's very difficult and very tricky, and it's not just as simple as 1, 2, 3. If we have a team who can actually do a good job in doing all these things and monitoring them, why not? It's less than a proper like 10-course dinner or a dinner that me and my friend are going later. You know, it's like or lunch or high tea or whatever, and you have a peace of mind. Like you know that these are the value companies, and you know that this can be part of your portfolio. US case studies is not just about presenting the 1 to 24 studies, 2 studies a month, and then they will forget about it. If you realize that they actually go back to reanalyze some of the case studies that they have picked up before, and then review again, is the fundamentals still there? Are they still earning? Do they still have good management? What have they done for the past year? Have they met the criteria or the promise that they say that they're going to meet? Now that I've found out this value investing part can be part of my portfolio, right? Let's say 25%. I have the other 75% that I need to look into. But I know value investing is important. It's the fundamental, it's the base, right? But once I found out this time that I don't need to do or search the world, for the companies, which I know that a very dedicated and very good team will do that, I can actually use my time for other things. Other than venturing into other types of instruments and investing, I also have more time for my family. I do not want to sit there and search for things, rather than sitting down and looking at, what is the company to invest tonight. ROI that I gain from value investing and plus CFOS and the US case studies is about 15 to 20% per year, and it's like 1 to 2% per month. After subscribing to the US case studies, it's very structured. These are the companies that has been picked up and searched and researched and analyzed by a dedicated team with all the knowledge that they have to make sure that it's really a value company. So after that, it took me only about like maybe half an hour to 1 hour. So these are all the benefits that I have because I don't have to worry. It's like a peace of mind. I don't have to worry about is the company good or not. I know that the US case studies, all the company will be value company. But whether I want to invest in them because it's value company is my due diligence.
Julie Lok, right, which is actually our very loyal fan of VIA, and she is also very supportive of what we do. By the way, she's from VIA batch 31, and then right now we are at batch 62, I think, which means that she has been with us maybe for at least 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, and throughout the 5 years we have been supporting her. Yeah, and of course at the end of the day, we want people to do well investing so that they will behave. The benefit is actually what is written on my t-shirt. Maybe you cannot see, right? Yeah, you better stand up a bit. So can you see it's invest, eat, sleep, what, repeat. Okay, I don't know whether you can see or not. Yeah. By the way, Julie should have this t-shirt. Julie, if you don't have, you ask me for it. I deliver one to you. Okay, so by the way, jokes aside, the link is already there, provided by my colleague, right? So what you need to do is just click on the link. Of course, a separate page pops out. And what you need to do is you just need to fill out the detail. Can you see here? The name and all that, credit card information, country code, just fill in accordingly, Just fill in accordingly, right? And then, of course, the credit card number and so on. So just scroll down and then fill up. Maybe take about 1 minute to just fill up, Once you fill up, just submit. Now, what is going to happen is after you have submitted, right? Yeah, maybe you'll take about 5 to 10 seconds. Check your inbox as well as the spam box. Yeah, because at the back end of the system, right, will auto send out the user login detail and the password. Yeah. And our platform is called Katra. Now, I need to tell you this is because sometimes you see an email that comes from some unknown source. You may be thinking some spam site, right? So remember, at the back end, right, it's called Katra, which means that if you see one email, right, there's Katra something, right? It's actually from us. It's like autoresponder. It auto responds to you the moment you submit. Yeah. So the link is there. Just key in the information very quickly, and then you submit. Yeah, submit. Now, if you have any issue, right, my colleague has already put the email, which is technical@mykinesis.com. Yeah, I just dropped an email to ask my colleague tomorrow. They will start work at 10. They will respond to you first thing in the morning. Yeah, in case you got some login issue, right? But don't worry, we are there, right? So let's do a very quick recap. Quick recap. In the very beginning, right, our topic was talking about this chat GPT. Yeah. And then Hillary, oh, I'm speaking, do remember to fill out information. Yeah, fill out information. So I'm just trying to do a quick recap, right? So Hillary talks about yeah, of course, what's ChatGPT. I did a demo and so on. And then after that, she brought in the company called Microsoft, yeah, who is going to acquire ChatGPT. I'm not very sure has it been acquired, but Microsoft has come in. They got competitors, Google, their own AI called Bard, and then Baidu, right, also want to come in and take a piece of the pie. So she shared 3 companies. Yeah, some details, yeah, but not detailed enough unless you are a subscriber, right? So that's the first thing. And then after that, she also introduced 3 so-called AI company. Adobe, right? EPAM, and then NVIDIA. Yeah, just to let you know that NVIDIA was shared during one of our symposium. Yeah, we talk about NVIDIA, right? So maybe on our side, right, just for people like Jerry, Elvin, I think we'll take a look at this EPAM. Or Hillary, maybe take a look at EPAM. Yeah. Yeah, if EPAM is okay, we will put this as one of our US case study, provided it's okay. Yeah. So you have 3 plus 3 already. And then later on, I came in and then I used the website Motley Fool, right? And then Motley Fool so-called recommend the top 4 AI, right, ETF. Yeah, luckily I didn't just blindly listen to Motley Fool. So, I did the graph, right, did some comparison. I realized that actually it's worse than the S&P 500. And with that, there was one question, like for example, from Hello, right? Hello. I don't know who is Hello, but okay. So Hello was asking, oh, can I ask the graph you make comparison? Is it based on which factor? Or it's based on the share price? Based on share price, one factor only, share price. Yeah. So y-axis is share price, x-axis is time. You use Google Finance. I mean earlier when you compare the S&P 500 and the 4 AI ETF. Okay, correct. We use share price because share price shows the performance, right? Yeah. So for Jerry, Alvin, the app is coming. Yeah, it's a must do. I guarantee you by end of this year, it will definitely come up. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is it's going to be accompanied by a launch, and this launch of the app will only be for our US case study subscribers, and you'll be on site, Okay, on site, very good, right? Yeah. So for those people, yeah, please click on the link. If you are not a subscriber yet, just click on the link, which is provided by my colleague, right? And then you fill in the relevant information. And once you fill in the relevant information, from this month onwards, which is still a bear market, you're going to have a great 2023, right? Because the moment you are able to buy a great company at an undervalued price. So what are the 3 sources of passive income in the long run? First one, you're going to have capital appreciation. That's a long-term gain, long-term, right? Now, the mid-term, you're going to be paid dividend. And just now I shared that if you have 2 US companies, for example, every 4.5 days you get paid. Yeah. If you've got 10 US companies, every 9 days you got paid. Yeah. And of course, in order to have 20, you need to have 10, right? To have 10, you need to have 1. And then if you don't buy your first one, including a low-cost S&P 5 index fund, I mean, we will have to work until the rest of our life, where the retirement age is age 63. And of course, then you fall into the group where our Deputy Prime Minister saying that, wow, most people like to work. Yeah, so you belong to that group. Yeah, so mid-term dividend. And of course, the last one, right, is selling of option. And only our 4-day VIP grads will know. But in case you're not our grad yet, right, so don't worry, because during the mentoring session, I will tell you exactly what to do. Yeah, in terms of the steps. Okay, With that, again, very quick recap, my last, maybe second slide. From today onwards, yeah, the combined intelligence will help you screen 24 companies from today onwards in the next 12 months. Yeah, you just need to have a username, password to log in. Everything is done value investing style. No speculative, no gambling, no guessing, no cryptos or ETF or whatever. Yeah, not ETF, NFTs. And then second one, right, and third one is we're going to meet regularly, which is 4 times per year. And during this 4 times per year, right, we're going to sell options together. That's priceless. Yeah, if you refer back to what Judy has said, the amount of subscription is equivalent to like a 10-course meal. Yeah, but right now her meals are all free. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Judy's husband is actually a lawyer, right? So they are very smart people, And if they are that intelligent, they will know whether all the things that we're sharing, is it legit or not? Okay, so I think I have to be very careful dealing with anyone. Okay, especially lawyer, right? But then the last one, of course, executive summaries for very busy people. We have doctors, pilot, dentists, all this. Sometimes they don't have time to go through the detail. So we provide an executive summary in 10 seconds, right? Once they glance through, they will roughly know, oh, is this company okay or not okay? Yeah. And of course, most important, right, is you have access to our 2+ years of combined intelligence effort tonight, where you will be able to have inside access to 57 companies that are done for you, that are good and undervalued, and out of this, 73% or 42 are still undervalued today. And you have access to all this with just a click of the button over there in the chat. Yeah, in the chat, which is home, BIA, and so on. Yeah. And this is, oh, EPAM. Yeah, just now I was talking about the EPAM, right? Whether to include in the case study. So just now the Hillary just passed this piece of paper to me. You see, this is human intelligence. Right? Ask ChatGPT also don't know. You see, it's not so intelligent. So she told me overvalue. Share price right now I think it's 372. Yeah. So assume 10% growth. Assume 23% growth. Also cannot. So in other words, EPAM maybe is a good company, but it's overpriced. Yeah, which also means that right now if you buy EPAM, there's a high risk, right? And then maybe lower return. Yeah. Okay, So I think EPAM as of now, stay away. Stay away. So what are the things you need to look at? Click on the link right now, fill out the relevant information, and I shall see you on the other side, which is our VIA Atlas Project app is coming, and it's called Project US Case Study. Okay. So this is my last slide. Right? So there are about still 91 people watching this. Yeah. By the way, for those people who are already our US case study subscribers, before you exit our session, right, if you don't mind, can you just give like me and Hillary some encouragement by clicking on the thumbs up? There's a thumbs up on the YouTube, right? I know it's a bit lame, right? Yeah, but I think maybe that will help with a number of views or engagement, something like this. Yeah, so you just click on the thumbs up. And then for those people who are not our US case study subscriber yet, are there any questions that you want to ask? Yeah, any ask? Maybe I'll be here to hang around maybe for the next, let's say 10 minutes before we end the session. Yeah, anything you want to ask about what we have covered today before you exit? But if you are going to exit, please help us do a thumbs up, right? Yeah, any question that you want to ask? Yeah, don't ask me about Tesla. Just now got somebody, right? The first sentence is, I mean, he's a nice guy, and then he shared that, hey, I'm from India, what about Tesla? I mean, but today we talk about AI, might ask me Tesla. Yeah, it's like today I talk about AI, then suddenly, ask something about, what do you think about shark fin, or something like that. Okay, so Angeline, thanks. Yeah, so Angeline has been our very strong supporter of what we do. Yeah, so Angeline, thanks. Yeah, Hiroko also, Hiroko. Yeah, you see Hiroko, right? You know that he's the Japanese, right? Yeah, Hiroko-san, Uyasumi nasai, so have a good rest, right? And I shall see you very soon. Okay. Any other question that you want to ask before the timer? Hey, but the timer is not for me to talk for 10 minutes. It's to buy you time so that you can click on the link. Maybe I ask my colleague to post the link again. Yeah. You think that I chit-chat with you, 10 minutes? It's to give you time. You click on the link, the link is already up, click on the link, fill out the information. So in case something happened, right, you submit, at least you can still ask me. But don't worry. Yeah. Hiroko say I joined 4-day session about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, man? Yeah. Is the membership still good? About 10 years ago, is the membership so good? Hiroko-san, I'm not very sure about your question, The 4 days is the 4-day value investing program. So right now you talk about membership. I'm not very sure. These two are separate things. You are still our graduate if you have attended our class. Yeah, you should be in our Facebook closed group, VIA Singapore closed group. Yeah, so if you are talking about the membership for this, maybe I ask a more sharp question, right? So Hiroko-san, are you our US case study subscriber? Yeah, I think that will be a more sharper answer so that I understand your question fully. Yeah, Amin, high five. Okay, so one more time. Yeah, by end of this year, I'm just guessing, maybe July, August, we should have the app up. Yeah, app up. So in other words, at the end of the day, right, I'm just using this phone as a demo, right? So our biggest dream for VIA, in case I get really old, right, and can no longer work, our VIA is you can invest at your fingertip, using combined intelligence. But I'm not surprised that in years to come, maybe our VIA alerts will also include some form of artificial intelligence, so that if you're watching like a movie, right, Netflix, the Netflix will have some AI right at the bottom. You may also like this movie, something like that. Yeah, and then if you buy Amazon, you buy a book, right? Yeah, they also, maybe some suggestion. I think these are some of the things that we can include in as technology become more pervasive and more affordable. Do we get the same thing for 148 month? Yeah, the answer is yes. But okay, maybe let me just go back, right? I'm going to leave my screen over here. Maybe I leave my colleague. But it's okay. I got a clock, right, to look at the time. Yeah. So maybe just let me see. Let me put up the investment, right? Let me see, where is it? Over here. Yeah, over here. So it's not 100 something. It's not 148. It's actually only 74. Yeah. So I assume that if you use the monthly one, right, will you still get the same thing? The answer is yes. But don't. Yeah. Why do you want to put every month, which is more costly? This one is more affordable. So do the money. So I need to sign up for another program for this so-called US case study. Okay, so Hiroko-san, right, the 4-day value investing program, you said you had done it 10 years ago, so it's completed. So done. So in other words, we have delivered this part. So for this US case study, is a separate initiative, because 10 years ago we don't have. We only started this during the pandemic, which is in April 2020. Yeah, so it's a separate initiative. Yeah. Or otherwise, how should I say? I don't have the financial resources to pay salary, right? App development, all this. Okay, so it's a separate thing. So the link is at the bottom. So it's another program. It's not a program, it's rather a project. Yeah, project. So yes, it's a separate thing. The link is there. My colleague has already posted one more time. Maybe about 6 more minutes before we end off the day. So the screen over here, you'll be able to see the offerings. Yeah. So thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah. So for the rest of you, any other question? We still have about 68 people watching this. So I suppose you all have some question, right, regarding access to all this information this evening. Yeah. But very good. It's a timer. I realized that when I look at the YouTube live, I see the timer beneath me at 4 minutes plus. Okay, any other things that you want to ask? Yeah, before you all go off, right, knock off, you don't mind, can you just press a thumbs up so that, me and Hillary, we feel more encouraged to do all this work. Yeah, but Hillary did most of the work. It's quite tough. Yeah. Hillary, in our office, she has a very special seat at one side. Yeah, one side. So last time, because we practice open concept, right, people can see each other. So she find that because open concept very, very distracting. So eventually, one of my colleagues bought some partition. So right now we joke that her seat has the Great Wall of China, and all of us only she has Great Wall of China. So when she go inside her castle, right, and then try to look for companies such as EPAM, no distraction. Francis Tong, the case study, it will be emailed to us. Oh, okay, the great question, right? Now, what happened is the moment you key in all the credit card information and so on, the Katra autoresponder, right, will send you a username and the password. Yeah, password. So tonight you can log in. Yeah, the system is quite user-friendly. You log in, you can go play with it. Yeah. So now the thing is your question, right? Okay, so you log in first. So will it be emailed to us? The answer is partial. What do I mean by this? So whenever a new case study is uploaded, we'll do 2 things for you. Number 1, we'll send you an email. But you have to log in. Yeah, because the email, there is no case study. So the email is to tell you that, hey, we have uploaded a case study. It's for you to log in and see. Yeah. And then the second one, we also send you a message, SMS. So for example, right, I subscribe to Netflix. Netflix. So every time when they have a new movie, I notice they always send me an email. But of course, when the email is just to notify there is a new movie. Yeah, when I click, there's nothing for me to watch. So I have to go to the Netflix app, log in and then so on. Yeah, so Francis, that is my answer to your question. That means in the email, there is no case study. Yeah, it's just to remind you that, hey, can you please log into the website, which is mobile friendly for now. And by end of this year, again, we're going to have a mobile app. So Kelly say, can watch recording just came in. Can watch recording just came in. Kelly, I'm not very sure which recording you're referring to. Yeah, just came in. Huh? Oh, this live session. Oh, okay. So Kelly, you're saying that you just came into this session, huh? Can watch recording. The answer is yes, because YouTube live. Yeah, you can watch anytime. It's permanently here. So Lily, thanks. Before you knock off the day, can you please press? Yeah, only about 1 minute left, right? Yeah, click on the link, fill out the relevant information. Yeah. By the way, just to let you know that the latest and most recent core inflation is about 5.1%. This is always reported by the government, right, on the mainstream media. But in real life, when you go kopitiam, the thing is maybe 10%, 20%. Yeah. So now we have to ask ourselves, if we do not invest this year during the bear market where things are selling at a discount, I mean, then how? No, don't invest. Yeah, it cannot be, right? So you want to invest. So the question is not whether do you want to invest, yes or no. Yeah, the answer is it has to be a yes to invest. Yeah, because you cannot say no with the inflation so high, right? So the only question that's left that we should be asking, right? If we say yes to investing, which has to be a yes. So what are we going to do about it? How do we do? But just to let you know that 90% of the so-called investors are actually speculators. And right now, if you are able, Francis say the price just for tonight subscription. The answer is yes, because we are giving 50% discount. Yeah, because in between, if there is no YouTube live, we actually don't talk about this. Yeah, there's also, I think, a money back guarantee, if I'm not wrong, either 1 week or 2 weeks. Also, Francis, you can go inside. I mean, if you don't like, or the next day you can drop an email and then we'll just refund you the money. But remember, right, because it's US dollars, there may be some discrepancy in the conversion. Maybe few cents, $1, $2. Yeah, my colleague is going to cut off already. Yeah. So quickly, right, click on the link. I'll still be here maybe for another 3 minutes. 3 minutes, right? So my colleague maybe need to add another 3 minutes. Yeah. Because I noticed there's still about 55 people over here. So my colleague is trying to figure out the 3 minutes how to add in. Yeah. Any other things? Okay, So anyway, the ChatGPT sounds interesting, but still not good enough. To help us in really coming to a decision, invest, not so that you can invest, eat, repeat, what. Okay, yeah. Now just click on the link and in 3 minutes. So remember the early bird is today, 50% discount. Anyway, there's a money back guarantee within, I think, 1 or 2 weeks. Yep. So there's a zero risk. Okay, but remember, you're not only getting the first 12 months of effort, right? But you're getting our past 2 years of effort. So in short, not only you have 50% discount, is you buy one, right, get 2 free. And whole Singapore, we're the only one. They are doing this. And by the way, VIA has been around for the past 13 years. Yeah, 13 years. We're not here for 13 months or 13 days. And we have supposedly a very good reputation, at least from our students' perspective. Okay, any other thing before we knock off quite soon in about 2 minutes time? Yeah. About 53 people watching this. 2 minutes, yeah. And just to let you know that our Deputy Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong, will be announcing the budget. Budget on the, if I remember correctly, I think it's a Valentine's Day. Yeah. So I mean the things they announced, I'm not very sure who is it relevant to, but of course people may look forward to something like a GST voucher, or the CDC voucher, $300 and all that. I think for the low income family will be useful. And I'm just assuming that the 50 people of you who are watching this, maybe you are at least a mid-income or above average. Yeah, so I think we have to ask ourselves whether Do we live our life waiting for the vouchers, right? Or do we want to have full control of our financial destiny? But of course, going back to just now what I said, investing is a must. You cannot say, yeah, let me think about it. And then 10 years later, oh yeah, let me think about investing. Yeah, so the question is more of how you're going to do it, because investing is a must. There's no way we can beat 5.1%. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, I've been told 1 minute. Okay, any other thing that you want to ask? By the way, it doesn't make sense for me to tell you you must invest, right? You already know. Yeah. So the question is how? Yeah. And then AI, as of now, helpful but not so helpful yet. We still rely on human combined intelligence, CI. Okay, maybe another 40 seconds, right? Before we knock off, so we have to knock off. Yeah, so for those people who are so-called a subscriber, you want to leave, please help us to click the thumbs up. Okay, so remember 50% discount is only for today, right? And if you join us today, once we develop the app, right, you don't have to pay any money for the app. And that includes the new platform. So I only have 10 seconds. 10 seconds, counting down already. Don't say I bo you, right? Okay, good. So I shall see you, but let me end with the last slide. So remember what you're watching, right, is actually provided by VIA, and VIA stands for Value Investing Academy. Our mission, right, is we care to make you a better investor. So I shall see you inside the VIA. See you. Goodbye.